Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where tonight the Minnesota Vikings are getting set to take on the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football.
Oh, Sunday night.
The beauty on Sunday Night Football.
Oh, Sunday night.
And here we go.
Stand up and cheer, stomp your feet, start clapping. NBC, Sunday night about to happen. America's game, been waiting all day. The Pack and the Vikes have come to play. The games are here, let's turn it up. It's the NFL, can't get enough. We got a battle tonight, a winner take all, ain't nothing like Sunday Night Football. It's out of control, get set, let's go. The clock's winding down, let's rock and roll. Stand up and cheer, stomp your feet, start clapping. NBC, Sunday night about to happen. The hits keep coming and the lights keep flashing. Come on, get ready for the action. Stand up and cheer, stomp your feet, start clapping. NBC, Sunday night about to happen, and the hits keep coming and the lights keep flashing. Come on, get ready for the action. Sunday night.
What a buzz in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota tonight as U.S. Bank Stadium opens its doors to its first regular season game. And 66,000 are ready to watch Adrian Peterson and the Vikings ready to take on the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers on Sunday Night Football. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. Well, the new era for the Vikings begins tonight with a new quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater was hurt in practice 3 weeks ago. He is gone for the season, so they had to go out and make a trade. And they got Sam Bradford from the Philadelphia Eagles. He gets to start tonight for a team that did not score an offensive touchdown last week, but had 2 scores on defense as the Vikings come out onto the field, kicked 4 field goals, and beat Tennessee. Now, the Green Bay Packers have been in the playoffs 7 consecutive years. Everybody expects them to make it 8. Aaron Rodgers is in his prime. He gets Jordy Nelson back. He missed all of last season with a knee injury, and this team went down to the sauna bath that was Jacksonville last week and came away with a road win over the Jaguars. So, Chris, first things first. Nice digs, huh?
This keeps getting better, doesn't it?
Well, this is where they'll play the Super Bowl following next season. It'll be on NBC. First promotion for it. What about the Green Bay Packers? What's their game plan tonight against the Vikings?
Well, I think with the return of Jordy Nelson, they're hoping they'll also get the return of some of those big plays. They want to play fast tonight. Their feeling is the more times Aaron Rodgers touches the ball, the better chance they have of winning, even in this madhouse out here.
Well, the Minnesota Vikings, of course, everybody looking at the stadium, but all eyes will also be on Sam Bradford. What are you expecting?
Well, Sam Bradford was terrific the second half of last year with Philadelphia. The question is, how quickly will he be able to get it going with this offense? But remember, they have an excellent defense here. Of course, they have Adrian Peterson. And if they get this passing game going, believe me, this team can play with anybody.
This is one of the NFL's great rivalries. It goes all the way back to the Purple People Eaters. There they were then. Here they are now against the Green Bay Packers. Minnesota, Green Bay next on NBC.
NBC, Sunday night about to happen.
Get apps, videos, and more at itunes.com/NFL. Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Subway Restaurants. And by the 2017 Kia Sorento. Learn more at kia.com.
For the best Sunday Night Football social experience, go to snfallAccess.com. And throughout the game, follow SNF on Twitter for Michelle Tafoya's updates from the sidelines.
NBC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
To honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem, as performed this evening by multi-platinum recording artist and actress Jordan Sparks.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? In the home of the brave.
Well, they play 2 preseason games here, but this one, the first, that counts. Always good when somebody on the crew gets a home game. That's the case with Michelle Tafoya. Michelle.
Well, Al, yeah, the expectations around here were pretty high with this Vikings team. They were young, coming off their first division title in 6 years, and ready to open this brand new building. Then came August 31st when quarterback Teddy Bridgewater went down with a season-ending knee injury. The team and the fans were stunned and devastated. But less than 72 hours later, the Vikings made a trade for Sam Bradford, a move that proved this organization is serious about winning now. So tonight, it's showtime for this franchise, and to get things started, a Viking tradition will be performed by the team's patriarch, Hall of Fame head coach Bud Grant.
And there he is. He led the team to 4 Super Bowls. The Gallahorn, the one and only, and he came out with a golf shirt when it was 6 below in their playoff game last January before the stadium opened up, and they played at the University of Minnesota field. So the crowd is ready. Everybody is stoked. Green Bay won the toss. They elected to defer, so we're going to see Sam Bradford right away.
Now, Shane Ray picks it up, goes in, and Denver now 2-0, Colts 0-2. Seahawks struggled again offensively, 1 total touchdown through 2 weeks.
And the story is the same as last week, having trouble blocking that front 4. Russell Wilson was under duress all day. They couldn't get the running game going. It's Seattle's offensive line that has to step up.
Giants defense and special teams stepped up. Here's Janoris Jenkins taking the blocked field goal back. Giants win by 3.
Yeah, Dan, we know they can put points up on the board offensively, but if you want to get to the playoffs and win your division, you have to play well on special teams and defense.
Washington up by 3 on Dallas in the 4th. On the doorstep, but Kirk Cousins, and a terrible throw here.
Yeah, bad throw, and Kirk Cousins wasn't sharp today, but it's way too early to panic in Washington.
Former Redskin Alfred Morris with the game-winning score. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk earlier tonight said dissension in the locker room about Kirk Cousins with his teammates.
Get him to watch the tape, find out what's going on, if he's unsure, what the indecision might be, why he's missing some throws. But, you know, it's a tough game. He's got people around his feet. He's got to make some tough throws, and usually ones he would normally hit, but he missed a few today.
All right, we're 2 weeks into the season. All of a sudden, there's some unrest in that locker room?
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. After 2 weeks, you're starting to panic. And this is not the time, Coach. We've been in those type of locker rooms to point fingers. This is when you rally together, you see your true leadership, and it starts with your head coach. No need to point your quarterback out in the public eye.
Yeah, and players, get behind your quarterback. Hey, Kirk's going to be okay. We've got to do our part. Now, on the other side of that game, Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys have to be happy getting that type of performance, that type of poise from their rookie quarterback.
You know, the thing that really impressed me about him is it's no longer just Jason Witten, you know, and Dez Bryant, but you look at the relationship or the chemistry that he has with Cole Beasley, and he's really been their best receiver the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we got Dallas and Chicago next Sunday night here on NBC. How do you explain Seattle? The defense has been great for the first 2 weeks, but that offense?
Well, it's the offensive line, Coach, and we sit there, we watch the game, and we talk about that offensive line. And when you don't have confidence in your offensive line, then your quarterback runs around, then they start panicking, they're throwing the ball all over the field. I think they have to get back to the fundamentals, try to run the ball, establish the run, and remain patient.
They do, but I think it goes back to last year and trading their veteran center, Max Unger, getting another weapon in Jimmy Graham. It helped to get more weapons, but that offensive line hasn't been settled ever since.
Coming up next, Mike Tirico and the Patriots' next challenge. But first, Toyota shows us this week that when it comes to sports fans, whatever happens is all forgiven as long as you're rooting for the same team.
Back in Minnesota, where the Vikings lead the Packers 10-7 on this opening night here at U.S. Bank Stadium. As they celebrate the life of Prince in the background, we'll talk to you about Thursday night when Week 3 of the NFL season will begin in New England, with the Patriots hosting the Texans and Bill Belichick matching up against his former assistant, Bill O'Brien. Both coaches' teams are 2-0, but the Pats' win over Miami today came with a cause. In the second quarter, Jimmy Garoppolo, who continued his good play subbing for the suspended Tom Brady, took a big hit from Dolphins linebacker Kiko Alonso, as Dan showed you, landing hard on that right throwing shoulder. Garoppolo was done for the day, and there are multiple reports that he has an AC joint injury. That leaves rookie Jacoby Brissett, a third-round pick out of NC State, as the potential starter against the Texans and J.J. Watt. The two-time reigning Defensive Player of the Year had a sack and a half, plus recovered a fumble today against the Chiefs, as Houston beat the team that embarrassed them 30-0 in last year's playoffs. So Houston heads to New England, where Bill Belichick may very well be preparing yet another quarterback to make his first NFL start, replacing Tom Brady on Thursday night. Now, tomorrow morning on the Today Show, an exclusive interview with Amal Clooney, talking about her most challenging case yet, finding justice for women in the most dangerous parts of the world. That's tomorrow on Today. Al and Chris back with the second half. It's Packer ball. They're down 3.
This has been the Toyota Halftime. Let's go places. Tonight's first half highlights are brought to you by Chevrolet.
Sunday night. Stand up and cheer, stomp your feet, start clapping. NBC Sunday night about to happen.
What a buzz as U.S. Bank Stadium opens its doors to its first game. Rodgers rolling, looking, throwing, touchdown, Jordy Nelson.
Everybody's thinking run, so why not?
Bradford to the end zone, Rudolph, touchdown Vikings.
Chevrolet, the most awarded car company 2 years in a row.
Halftime score as you look down upon U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis is 10-7 Vikings. Meanwhile, Green Bay was 65 total yards in the first half. They are averaging 2.7 yards per play. Second fewest yards in a Rodgers start. Bradford's been very efficient, 16 of 23 for 175, and that touchdown to Rudolph. Nelson and Diggs, their numbers. Jordy with 3 catches and a touchdown, and Diggs with 5. And Adrian Peterson limited again through 6 quarters this season. 9 carries, 12 yards. We go to Michelle.
Well, Mike Zimmer told me at halftime that Sam Bradford has a bruised left hand. They want to incorporate some more max protection stuff to help him out a little bit. Zimmer said it would also help if Bradford could get rid of the ball a little bit quicker, and it would help if they were running more effectively. The Packers will open up with the ball here in the second half. Mike McCarthy told me they've got to be better on third down. They were just 1 of 5 on third down in the first half, Al.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And against 65 total yards, 19 rushing and 46 passing.
But what Bradford has done in the first half of this game has been remarkable. To come in here in 2 weeks' time and be able to come out against the Green Bay Packers and all the pressure opening this stadium, he has really been brilliant in the first half of this game.
Welcome to the Volkswagen Passat Postgame Report. Here now, Mike Tirico.
Opening night, and the fans will leave happy as the Vikings beat the Packers 17-14 in another close, tight, memorable game in this long rivalry. Well, the Green Bay Packers will be thinking about a lot of different things after this game. The field goal they didn't go for in the third quarter when they were in easy field goal range, the 5 sacks, the multiple turnovers, Aaron Rodgers not handling the ball well, including that interception late in the game. But for the Vikings, a tremendous story. Sam Bradford, 15 days ago, they trade for him. He comes in here as they open the new stadium. He gets a victory, and he gets a game ball. Not just the one he's carrying there, but one that will be put up on the side of the Sunday Night Football bus. Matter of fact, not just Bradford with the 286 yards, but Stephon Diggs, 182 yards receiving, and the corner Trey Waynes. And they are standing by with Michelle Tafoya.
Sam, your first start after a crash course in this offense. How were you able to put things together so quickly?
Man, my teammates have been great. They've been behind me since day one, since I've got here. Everyone's offered advice. They're all willing to help. I didn't do it on my own tonight. Those guys were right there with me the whole way, and without those guys, none of it would have been possible.
You took a lot of hits tonight, bruised your left hand. We watched it all. What was it like to be in the middle of it all?
You know what? It's football. It's part of the game. You just got to stand in there, take the hits, and deliver the strikes when your team needs them.
It is an impressive performance given all of that. And your first time in this building, they're opening this place up. It's your first start with a new team. What were the nerves like when you got here tonight?
I had quite a bit of nerves tonight. It kind of reminds me of last year, my first game in Philadelphia. Obviously, you always want to play well your first time with a team, especially in front of the home fans. And our fans were great tonight. I mean, this is the loudest I've heard a place in a long time. So big shout out to our fans tonight.
Congratulations, a big win.
Thank you very much.
Let's go to Stephon Diggs. A big night for you as well.
Sorry.
That's okay. And a touchdown catch. Why were you and Sam able to connect the way you did tonight?
Just give it all the preparation and God first. He had a short week, he hasn't been here that long, so it's all about preparation and being on the same page. We communicate a lot in practice as far as just because everything is relatively new to him. And, I just try to make plays for him. He throws some great balls, as you can see, and I just try to do my job.
There was one moment you might not have done your job. You came out to defend a teammate. 15-yard penalty. What were you thinking?
It was costly. That can't happen. It would never happen again. And I almost lost my team the game. So I take full responsibility. I feel bad. And moving forward, it won't happen ever again. On my defense, I saw my guy on the ground. I'm a passionate guy, and I hate to see my guys on the ground. I got to be there for my guys. So I still got to take full responsibility, and it's my fault. Do better tomorrow.
Well, it's a win. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's go to Trey Waynes. Here he is. They picked on you a bit tonight, but you had the last word with that interception. How did that play unfold?
Basically, before the play, they had a long ways to go, so I just wanted to, ease out of my back play and just do my best to read it and not give up the deep ball.
You came in here for Xavier Rhodes, a big responsibility. What were your nerves like coming into this game?
Just the fact that we're facing a great offense, great quarterback, great receivers, but, we prepared really well for him. Xavier, he did a great job coaching me up throughout this weekend.
This is the stadium opener, a heated rival with the Packers, and a big win. What does this one mean to this team?
Oh, it means a lot. The Packers, they're always a big game for us, and the fact that we can open up the stadium with a win against them, it means a lot to us and the fans.
Congratulations, Trey.
Thank you.
All right, Michelle, thank you. So impressive performances all around from new and young Minnesota Vikings. Let's bring in the Hall of Famer, Tony Dungy, from our studio. Coach, when you look at what Bradford was able to do at the quarterback position, given the limited time in this offense, and he told me before the game, Norv Turner's offense was something he really wasn't very familiar with, not as much in his background. How impressive for you was what Bradford did tonight?
It was impressive, Mike, but I'll tell you, I was there on Friday and watched them practice, and I stopped in the offensive coach's office after practice they were so excited about Sam Bradford getting to play. This is exactly what Norv Turner wants to do. When people load up on the passing game and you get one-on-one opportunities, he wants to take advantage of it with the deep ball, and he feels like Sam Bradford throws that deep ball so beautifully. But on the other side, you really have to look at Minnesota's defense, too. They had Aaron Rodgers uncomfortable all night, and that's not easy to do. I thought it was a great win, both sides of the football.
Well, there's a composite here they were looking at, Coach, with that good defense, Bradford's ability to control the game, throw those deep balls, and Adrian Peterson. But we don't know how long Peterson's going to be out, if at all, with that knee injury that didn't look good. Your thoughts going forward, as they have some good defenses ahead the next 3 weeks in Carolina, the Giants on a Monday night, and then Houston.
Well, it's tough when you lose a weapon like Adrian Peterson, but I'll tell you, Norv Turner will not change what they do. They'll pound the football. They'll make people defend that running game. And now Sam Bradford becomes even more important, hitting those intermediate balls, those deep balls, controlling the flow with the offense until Peterson gets back. I think they're still going to be in good shape because of just the energy that they feel around Sam Bradford.
All right, Coach, thank you. Let's turn it over to Mike Florio of ProFootballTalk.com. So obviously, Mike, there'll be conversation about the Peterson injury, but that's not the only big-name injury we'll be talking about tomorrow. Jimmy Garoppolo hurt for the New England Patriots, who have a short week ahead.
Yeah, that's right, Mike, and it's an AC joint sprain. I'm told he was in tremendous pain after the game, and that in and of itself, regardless of the outcome of any MRI, X-ray's negative, that's fine. MRI is the bigger issue. Regardless of that, unlikely he's going to play on Thursday night. Now the Patriots have a decision to make. Who do they get to join Jacoby Brissett on that quarterback depth chart? There are not many free agents available, especially not guys who have familiarity with the Patriots system. And if you're going to do a trade for a 2-week Band-Aid until Tom Brady is back, tough decisions for the Patriots and not much time for them to figure out what they're going to do, Mike.
Yeah, Brissett, the third-round pick from North Carolina State. Patriots play Houston on Thursday. Meantime, we'll be in Dallas next Sunday night to watch the Cowboys play the Bears. And Dallas did get a win as they beat Washington. So Washington's 0-2. And, Mike, not the most harmonious locker room after the game for the Redskins.
Already a little dysfunction in that locker room, some griping and complaints about Kirk Cousins, lack of decisiveness, erratic play, lack of poise. And look, it's still early, but when the expectations were elevated by that $19.95 million one-year contract for Kirk Cousins, guys want the ball. When they don't get the ball, they're going to be upset. And now Washington has to try to figure it out. The other options on the roster, Colt McCoy and Nate Sudfeld, too early to be thinking about a change, but not too early to be thinking about problems in that locker room.
All right, Mike. Thank you. Mike's going to start 5 straight hours of football talk tomorrow morning on NBCSN with Pro Football Talk Live from 7 to 9, followed by the Dan Patrick Show 9 to noon with Broncos quarterback Trevor Siemian as the guest. Vikings win 17-14. Alan Chris wrap it up after this.
Welcome back to the Volkswagen Passat Postgame Report.
First and goal at the 1. Handoff, Elliott up the middle. Pound, push, pound, touchdown. Back to throw, good protection. Runs up out of the pocket, runs to the goal line. It's a touchdown. 2nd and 2 at the 4. Handoff, inside. Alfred Morris comes back to Washington and puts Dallas on top.
If you follow football, you know the story. Tony Romo gets hurt in preseason. He's out probably at least till the middle of the year. They go with the rookie, Dak Prescott. I watched that whole game today before coming over here. That's no rookie, Dak Prescott. I'm looking at this guy going, by the way, he's thrown 75 passes without an interception, longest streak to begin a career without a pick in the history of the NFL.
And he does some of the same things that Tony Romo can do. You know, and we saw it in the preseason. You go, big deal. It's in the preseason. He's not going to carry over. The real defenses are going to. And he comes out and he does the exact same thing. Ezekiel Elliott now, star running back, got the ball on the ground a couple of times out there. But, you know, for Dak Prescott to get the ball to Dez Bryant, and Dez Bryant was talking about him in the preseason, how impressive he was, and now it's showing up in the regular season.
Cowboys are 1-1 after losing to the Giants on opening day, and the Chicago Bears losing at Houston on opening day. They have the Monday night game against Philadelphia tomorrow. So, you know, there are games that are early in the season that are more important than others. pretty big for them.
But I think for the Dallas Cowboys right now, there is a feeling of life after Tony Romo, which I'm not sure they really were feeling that way coming into the season and when that injury happened.
Life after Teddy Bridgewater in Minnesota tonight, thanks to Sam Bradford. So that is the story as the Minnesota Vikings christen their new stadium with a 17-14 win over the Green Bay Packers as the Vikings now go to 2-0 and the Packers are 1-1. Bud Grant got it started tonight. Beautiful ballpark. Good game, 17-14. Local news, except on the West Coast next. Michaels, Collinsworth, Tafoya, Tirico, our whole gang, Godelli, and Eshikoff. Good night from Minneapolis. See you next week.
NBC Sports thanks you for watching this special presentation of the National Football League.